Just like a wedding, we spend all of this time preparing for the event, which in this case would be birth. And we don't spend so much time preparing for our life with that new partner, how things are going to work when we are in a marriage together. Today, we're going to talk about postpartum planning. And I think this is something that so many people ignore. And as I looked at my channel, I was aghast with the idea that I didn't have hardly any postpartum content on here. So I'm hoping to bring more postpartum content to you going forward. Again, subscribe if you love great pregnancy content. But today, let's talk about your postpartum plan. I know birth plans get top billing, but today I want to talk about your postpartum plan, which ultimately I think might even be a little bit more important. And the good news is I actually have a printable with a link down below. Do you need to fill it out? Probably not. But I think it's awesome to go through with your partner and the people that will be helping you after you have your baby. Now, it's real easy to latch onto these postpartum videos on social media, but I really think it's important to learn about postpartum from an expert. I'm Hilary. I've been a labor nurse since 1997. I have 20 years of labor and delivery experience. I had 3 babies with absolutely miserable postpartum experiences, and most of that was due to my lack of preparation, lack of awareness of what it was actually going to be like, and me 100% putting my head in the sand that I had postpartum anxiety. So let's talk about it moving forward. Okay, the first thing that you'll see on that postpartum plan is helpers. Now, I see a lot of young couples thinking, you know what, we really want to do this together. We want to be in this together. It's so important for us to do this together. And I love that because it's so important for you guys to do this together because you're going to be doing it forever. I know I used to just say 18 years, but here I am with a 25-year-old and we are still doing it together. So I think it's so important to do that. But in reality, you're also going to need some help. I can't tell you how many of those people who I've later seen, Mom, I really need your help. Mom, don't go home, things like that. You want to take all the help that you can get. And yes, that means your mom. Yes, that means his mom. You want to take as much help as you can be getting. And even if you have friends who are like, hey, I would love to help you after the baby is born, I think a great thing to say is that is so kind of you. I love that. What kind of things do you think you're good at or do you think you could help us with? Because it's really important that we do what those people are good at. If they are horrible cooks, let's not have them bring you a meal, although they can bring you a DoorDash card or they can bring you cut up fruit or things like that. Or if they absolutely hate to clean, it's not going to be best if you ask them to come clean your house. And yes, you might be aghast at the idea of someone else coming to help you clean up your house, but honestly, I think that can be super helpful and you can either sleep while they're there and they can sort of watch the baby while they're getting some stuff done, or you can clean with them or chitty chat with them. One of my favorite things is when people offer to come fold some laundry and you just sit there holding the baby, they fold the laundry, so something's getting done, but you're also getting interaction with your friends, which I think is really important. So ask people what they would be good at to help and use them. Don't be like, oh, that's so great, and then think they'll never want to help me. Think about how they can help you and move forward with them helping you. And at the very least, write down all those people who have offered to help so that when the chips get down, you can make a group message and be like, hey, is anybody willing to come watch the baby, give us a meal, come clean my house, whatever, things like that. I think it's so important to start gathering that village. And then as soon as you have your baby, you got to work to be part of other people's village. In order to have a village, we got to be part of the village, and that can get complicated. And I'm here to talk about something that can be uncomfortable, and that is boundaries. A lot of people don't want people holding their baby. They're worried about illnesses or things like that. So I think it's important to set boundaries together because, again, this baby is both of yours, about things like who gets to hold the baby. Are we going to have rules like nobody kisses the baby, nobody gets in the baby's face, things like that. And I think it's valid to have specific rules. Only grandparents get to hold the baby for the first couple of weeks. And also you want to kind of think about some things that you can say if you're wanting to set those boundaries. So if your friend down the street says, oh my goodness, he's so sweet, can I hold him? Your response can be something like, he is so sweet, but just because of germs and everything, we're not letting anybody hold him for the first month. But it is so nice that you are in his life and are ready to love him. I will let you know when he is ready for visitors. Something along those lines, something that makes you feel comfortable. But I think it's really important to think about what you're going to say when someone wants to cross that boundary. I'm not saying that these are bad people. People just love to hold babies. I honestly don't know why. Maybe I just have filled my baby quota being the pregnancy nurse, but people love to hold babies and they're going to ask to hold your baby, and you are welcome to have whatever response you want to that. Okay, the next thing in your postpartum plan is to think about things for baby. Where is baby going to sleep? How is baby going to feed? Will you be offering baby a bottle? Who will be home with baby? What is your plans with daycare as you move forward? So you start with very simple things like how baby's going to eat, where baby's going to sleep, and then you move forward into when are we going to offer the baby a bottle? When will we be using daycare? Things like that. And the online prenatal class for couples actually is a really great lead into questions like this because we start these questions very early on. I can't tell you how many people, the dad thinks the baby's sleeping in the nursery because you've spent all this time creating a nursery, and mom knows the baby is actually going to sleep in their room in a bassinet right by the bed, and dad is totally caught off guard when baby comes home, and I don't want that. I want you guys to be starting on the same foot together. So thinking about the different baby needs, which again are down in the link below, is really going to help you guys both moving forward. And again, you need to value his input. If he says he would like to feed baby a bottle once a day, I am here for that because studies actually show if mom can get, or dad, everyone in the house actually needs to be getting 4 consecutive hours of sleep. And that may mean that baby needs to have a bottle at some point during that time frame. Now, this is a whole other thing, and you probably aren't going to get to that point until baby is at least a couple, 2 to 3 weeks old, but that's something you should be aiming for. And it's actually on the postpartum plan. And we talk about it a lot in the online prenatal class for couples. So I would 100% recommend joining me in there so that you know some tactics to stay healthy and well during your postpartum journey. Okay, the next one to talk about is your out of commission time. You're being the person who is giving birth. I had never really had a major medical event in my life, and I thought I would just come home and feel better because I didn't have this giant watermelon taped to the front of my body anymore. But instead, I came home, my bum hurt, I was so tired, every cell in my body hurt, like I was just miserable. And it wasn't something that I was expecting, and my husband went back to work very quickly. And I just didn't have someone to help me. I thought we would need help with the baby, but I don't think that I was prepared for how out of commission I was going to be and how careful I should have been with my body. We really push in the United States just jumping right back into your life. And I'm here to say that that might not be helpful. I do think that you want to get back to your normal life, but it's going to take some time and you might need some help as you transition to that. So I think talking about that, thinking who can help you, and just being aware that you are not going to go back to normal the day that you get home is really important. Side note, guess who within just a couple of weeks was putting on her pre-pregnancy jeans because they fit, but oh my gosh, my lady bits were so angry. Why did I do that? Why did I have the expectation that those would fit right when I got home? Oh, Hilary. Such a mistake. Side note, I took a birth class that did not prepare me at all for postpartum. So I don't want that for you guys. Make sure that when you get your birth class in, because I believe everybody needs one, make sure that you're getting one that has a good amount of postpartum information to prepare you for what to expect when you go home. Please do it. Hilary from 2000 is begging you to please do it. Okay, in conjunction with you sort of being out of commission is how you're going to manage household chores when you come home with a baby. Now, as I said before, you might have helpers who are willing to help you with the household chores. Honestly, I was not in a spot where I could sweep or mop my house because I, again, was miserable. I had a 4th-degree tear on my first baby and my body just hurt. And so we really hadn't prepared for like how we were going to manage the household after the baby was born. Getting helpers, possibly considering a maid service, just maybe your partner getting an idea that they're going to need to step it up a notch is a really important thing to know as you head home after baby is born. And I think having these conversations in advance just make sure that nobody's caught off guard and they're aware that they're really going to need to kick in once baby is born because you will be out of commission and slowly getting better, but they're going to need to take over in the meantime. Side note, I think a lot of partners are like, well, I'll just go back to work right away and don't realize how helpful they could be at home, even if it's just your first baby, even if it's not taking care of baby because you're breastfeeding. There's a lot of things that they can be doing at home to help you that aren't just like feeding the baby. They could change the diapers. Again, sweeping and mopping, cleaning up the house, making sure that it's tidy. Those are things that they can be doing. They don't have to go right back to work. So if your husband has paternity leave, plan to take it. It can be super helpful. Okay, the final thing I want to talk about is your coping skills. And I was not prepared for how anxious I would be after the baby was born. And I didn't have any kind of like ideas on what I could do to help with that anxiety moving forward. And yes, I had postpartum anxiety. People don't talk about it very much. I talk about it in my birth class, but It's one of the things that people experience along with postpartum depression. So I think one of the things you can do is think in advance what you can do to relax, what helps with anxiety, people you can call, being mindful that you may need to call your provider and actually get help. That was not something that I ever broached. I just thought I will be fine, when in reality, I really think that I could have gotten some help from some of the anxiety meds for just even a month or two. It would have been really helpful. And one of the best things you can do is tell your partner what they can do to help. Now, this goes both ways. Your partner may get postpartum anxiety as well when baby comes home. So what can you guys be doing to really help your partner? Have those discussions that you don't always have about things that you really like that they do, or things that maybe you don't love that they do that don't end up helping you. And of course, this is not a time to get your feelings hurt. It is really easy to be like, oh, you don't like it when I do that, and kind of get angry about it. But you need to take it as, oh, they don't like that I do that. I shouldn't be doing that anymore because I love them. So don't get the feelings hurt. Okay, there was one other one that I really wanted to address, and that is knowing the postpartum warning signs. Now, I have a whole video that you guys can find on my site. I'll put the link down below, but it goes over the postpartum warning signs, and I think they're really important for everyone in your bubble. So I think that means your mom, your partner, your mother-in-law, anyone that you think is going to be around you a lot postpartum should know the postpartum warning signs. And I have a super easy printout that you can put on your fridge, tape to a cabinet, or anything like that, so that you know when you should be getting help and when things are okay, or you should just be calling your provider. The postpartum mortality rate in the United States is absolutely horrible, and that's because we really just don't know these things. When you go home from the hospital, they're going to tell you these things, but I got to tell you that I pretty much just ignored them and focused only on what the baby needed, because I thought that I would be fine. And I'm here to tell you that the postpartum mortality rate in the United States shows that you may not be fine, and knowing these postpartum warning signs in advance and having the people who cocoon you also know them can be really helpful. So if you start having shortness of breath, or you start getting a raging headache, they can say, hey, look on the sheet. I think we really need to go into the hospital. Now, get that whole series. It actually comes with the online prenatal class for couples with a whole video where I run through it with you. But at the very least, you can get my quick presentation along with the printable down below. And one of the pro tips from that class that I think people don't know is, if you go into the ER with one of those big symptoms, you immediately need to tell them, I just had a baby 6 days ago, or whatever it is for you. And hopefully they understand that that is a big warning sign and you need to get help right away. Now, one of the things that's totally going to catch you surprised is how you deal with the restroom after you have your baby. I have a whole video on that. You guys should totally check it out. Thanks for valuing your postpartum journey, because I think it is going to pay off 100-fold. So be sure and watch that video to get prepared for that part as well.